Took out a loan to grow your business? Let's make sure it shows up correctly in your books. In this video, I'll walk you through how to add a loan in QuickBooks Online, step by step. We'll cover setting up the loan account and recording the funds so your balance sheet stays accurate. Since we are receiving a loan today, we are going to start outside of QuickBooks because when we purchase something and we require a loan to purchase that thing, that's where everything starts. For this example, we are going to say that Craig Doe of Craig's Design and Landscaping is buying a new truck for his business. He has a lot of items he needs to get to and from different work sites, so he needs a reliable truck to do this. I have used some data that I found online to kind of give us an example that we can use for this. So I am looking at a pretty standard contract and agreement for the purchase of a vehicle. I didn't put all the details in here, but I did put quite a few in here. As we're looking at this contract, we can see important information like the percentage rate. This would be the percentage of interest for this particular thing. This shows us the finance charge. This is the amount that it's going to cost us to finance this. This is the amount financed. So this would be how much the vehicle is going to cost after any down payments we are making. Total of payments. This will show us how much we will pay if we pay all of our scheduled payments at the time that they are due. This is the total sale price of this item. So you can see right here we have a down payment amount that Craig is paying, and then it shows us the total amount of this purchase with all of these finance charges included. Down here we can see how many payments we're going to make, how much those payments are going to cost, and then when they're going to start. When we scroll down a little bit here, you start to see the information about the vehicle. I'm just pretending this is a 2026 Ford F-250 and it's a new vehicle. I didn't fill in any of this information because it's not important for this video, but I'm going to show you this as well because this is a common piece of paperwork that you will see with a vehicle purchase. This tells us the amounts for different things. This is the service contract that Craig decided to get. And this also shows his down payment amount here and the amount financed. These are going to be some important things that we need to know when we're entering into QuickBooks. I'm going to pull up my QuickBooks now. A lot of places when you get a loan like this will enter it as a journal entry, but there is an easy way to add it as an expense. It just makes it a little bit more user-friendly as far as someone who doesn't necessarily have an accounting background. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We are going to come up to the Create button, and we are going to create an expense. When Craig purchased this truck, he did not pay very much out of pocket. So it's going to look kind of different what we're doing because the only amount that is being expensed right now would be that $500 down payment. So we're going to pull both of these screens over here so we can see both at the same time. We need to enter some information in here. Our payee is Anyway Motors. And we did pay this $500 deposit out of our checking. I need to make sure I have this person in here. They're a new vendor, so I need to add them. I'm not going to add details because I am not going to be sending them checks or anything like that. I look at my date here. I purchased this on December 10th, so I'm going to change my payment date. I can add a payment method if I want, but I do not have to. This is the part where it can be kind of confusing, but this is one way for us to enter it. So right now in this expense, I'm going to do 3 different things. I am going to add my new asset, my asset being that Ford F-250. I am going to add the loan for that Ford F-250, and I am going to add an expense for the $500 down payment. I'm going to start with the Ford F-250. Like I've said before, I like to be as precise as possible, so I'm going to add this as 2026 Ford F-250. And if I had more than one of these, say I'm a larger company, I have more than one vehicle of the same make and year, I can add different information that makes sense for my business. This is a new asset, so I'm going to add it. It is a fixed asset, and it is a vehicle, so I'm going to make sure it shows up as a vehicle detail type. And save. The amount that I want to put here is going to be the total price of the vehicle with taxes and fees and all those types of things added in. I am going to have to add a few things from this paperwork to make sure I am recording my vehicle at the correct amount. If we look here, we have the price of the vehicle. We have this service contract, and there's also a documentary fee. All these things are required for me to get this vehicle. So I am going to add all those together, and that will be the amount that I'm going to record the vehicle for. When I add those three numbers together, I am getting $61,860.75. If we look at this, the amount of the expense is showing $61,860.75. That is not correct. Only $500 is coming out of my bank account. So if I put this in here like this, I will record my asset, but I won't be able to match in my banking feed. And I also will not have recorded the loan. So there's one more thing I have to do to show those last two things. I need to create a new account for that loan. I'm going to name it 2026 Ford F-250 loan. And I need to add new because this is a new item. This is a long-term liability because I'm going to be paying it over 72 months, which is more than a year. And I am going to keep my detail type as notes payable. And save. Now this is the amount that I actually financed. I am financing this $61,360.75. But if I put that in as a positive number, this is just going to get bigger. And it's not going to match what's actually happening. So I actually have to put this in as a negative. So I'm going to do minus $61,360.75. And now my total amount is $500. And that is exactly what I paid in that down payment. Now, when that $500 payment comes through the bank, I can match this expense, and I have recorded the assets and the loan. So I'm going to save and close this so I can show you what that looks like and show you that this negative number is actually the way we want that loan to show up. For this part, I'm going to go into our chart of accounts. There's a few different ways to get here. If you're not sure where to find it, though, searching is usually the fastest way. I just added two new things to my chart of accounts. I have, and it's actually really close to the top so I can see it, my 2026 Ford F-250. It's $61,860.75. And that is the total amount that I put in for that. So that is showing up great. The next thing I need to look for is that loan. So I'm going to search for that one because that's not here in my top few. And if we look here, we have this loan, and it also is showing up as a positive balance here. Even though we put it in as a negative number, it was recorded correctly. And we can dig a little deeper into that and see that by viewing the register for this. You can see that this increased the loan, which is exactly what we wanted it to do. Even though it seems kind of weird to put in a negative number and have it increase something, that's exactly what is happening because it is a debt. We can see that here. There's one more thing that I can show you that reflects these changes. These are things that show up on our balance sheets. So we are going to pull that report just to show you what it looks like on there. In our standard reports, and grab the balance sheet. If we look at this balance sheet, we can now see our Ford F-250 right here, as well as our loan right here. So that's where those things are showing up. In the next video, I will show you how to record loan payments correctly, so make sure you tune in for that. Recording loans the right way helps you keep your liabilities clear and your financial reports clean. If this video helped, hit like and subscribe. Still have questions? Drop them below and your question may get answered in an upcoming video. Thanks. Bye.